reactions, interviews and more. Subscribe.
Fight fans, welcome. This is Sir Chat A Lot of Boxing. I'm delighted to get back on my channel. Rob Boxing Shrew. Rob, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Cheers for having me. Thanks for asking for me on.
No problem. It is great to get you back. I think the last time you was on my channel, you'd been censored off Twitter, and I think you had the tape on your mouth on one of the shows, didn't you?
Yeah. I got it all back. It was very, very weird. I appealed and appealed for a couple of months, and then suddenly I had a message from the lad at Everything Boxing saying, "Oh, mate, buzzing, you got your account back." I was like, "Have I?"
Didn't even know.
Because I'd heard nothing, absolutely nothing. Even to this day, I've heard not a single thing from X about the whole thing. And then I logged on, and everything was there. I couldn't believe it. But they obviously looked into it and saw it was nonsense. So.
Yeah, but it's good to get you back on Twitter. I'm sure many of your fans are enjoying your tweets again about boxing. So it's all good fun, and it's great. As I say, it's great to get you back on here to talk a special show today, talking all about the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Fresh year 2026. Let's hope we get more fights we want to see. But the first big heavyweight fight we was supposed to be seeing on our shores this year was MOSES ITAUMA against JERMAINE Franklin, which was on January the 24th in Manchester, which is this coming weekend. That show is now off. For a long time, we didn't hear anything about particular what the injury was that MOSES ITAUMA had suffered. It's now been revealed a torn bicep. Gutting the show is off for now. What's your thoughts on this, Rob?
Well, I mean, torn bicep. I mean, they'll be rushing to get him back in for the 28th of March, wouldn't they? At that
Absolutely.
rate, but it can't be that bad if they've already got the date in place. But I just pretty much the same. I kept a bit quiet on that one on Twitter because I've got to behave myself at the minute. But
You can say it on here.
No, I just felt so sorry for everybody on the card because, I mean, let's say 4 or 5 main events. A main card. 2 or 3 fights. So what's that? 8 fights, 16 fighters plus Franklin. You're knocking on 20 fighters who've all put money into a camp, all pretty much got to their last sparring. Liam Davis put up online that he just finished his sparring the day before. Like,
I know.
that is absolutely gutting for them to have to reset, recalibrate back to sort of where they were 2 months ago and then go again, all for one fighter. And I know a time as the golden goose, he's the golden boy coming through for Queensberry. I get that. But if Franklin had got injured, the show would have gone on, wouldn't it? They'd have pulled in a ringer. So, I just felt for all the fighters. And you look at someone like Nathan Heaney with that big pile of bloody tickets that most of them he hand delivers. He spent a couple of grand on just on fucking postage for people who weren't local. Like, it's just, I know it happens. It's always happened and it'll happen again. But yeah, it just sucks, doesn't it? I was hoping to go up there. I have to replan my trip now, as of thousands of others. So yeah, it's just a shame. What did you think of it?
Totally agree about the fighters. Obviously, I had Brad Pauls on here. I interviewed him just before the cancellation of the show. Well, before the new rearranged date.
Like 2 days before, wasn't it? You did it?
Yeah, something like that. And felt really gutted for the fighters.
Yeah.
The rearranged date has actually worked out quite well for me. I'm able to go to this one now,
that's
which
all right
is good.
then. That's okay.
Yeah, I know. I weren't saying it like that.
Don't worry about it, lads. Oh, hey, all you fighters out there, don't worry. Darren can go now. So
I wasn't saying it for that. But I actually messaged Brad Pauls saying, can I get some tickets off you?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a bit strange the way nothing was said about the injury. And then all of a sudden, there's a lot of backlash where people saying, well, what's the injury? Nothing's been said. Then all of a sudden, the torn biceps come out. Then I've heard things about it was a 12-round fight. Now it's going to be 10. The new fight's going to be a 10-rounder. It's just a bit, something didn't quite add up for me. I'm not a conspiracy theorist as regards they changed the date for this and that, and it's not that. I just think things didn't quite add up the way it was done, particularly not coming out with the injury to start with. Without looking for a Franklin fight prediction, that will have its own show. What do you think we see from MOSES ITAUMA this year?
Just quickly on the show, I have it on good authority from a couple of people that it wasn't actually Queensberry that pulled the show; it was DAZN, and that would change things a little bit for me, because I understand DAZN, they want the big names on, don't they? On each Saturday night fight card. So because I did think it was funny because Queensberry have rolled on with a show before off the back of injuries, haven't they? So
Yeah, they have.
I had
Yeah,
it. I heard from sort of people close to one or two of the fighters that it was actually DAZN. So I think that's why I didn't tweet too much about Queensbury for once, because I didn't think it'd be too fair. But yeah, in terms of a timer, like, he's got a great year ahead of him. So long as he can sort this injury out, it's not the best start to a year, but I wouldn't rush him right now, unless a mandatory gets called and you've got no choice and you've just got to go and roll the dice. A bit like Joshua, when Joshua got put in very early against Charles Martin when he called him as a voluntary, didn't he?
yeah.
I would still, see him out another year of development. The whole, this is going to be the youngest heavyweight world champion of all time. I never really bought into that. I thought that was unfair to put that pressure on him. So I would just keep him going as he's going. He's knocking out everyone who's in front of him pretty much. And I don't know, maybe move towards like a Kabayel or someone like that on, towards the end of the year, or, a Wardley. Imagine a time of Wardley for the world title. That'd be good. Or a Parker, a Zhang, like just someone like that, really. I certainly wouldn't rush him. No way.
Well, I think with Itauma as well, I agree with the not rushing him. I have a lot of people who say the same about Ben Whittaker. Oh no, if he's that good, he'll do this now. Like, I'm all about the process as well, which a lot of people won't agree with. I'll probably get comments about this after when it goes out. I agree. I don't think there's no need. I think the process of Franklin is the good step up to the real sort of like world level fringes. Like, Franklin's very durable. He went the distance, could have won that fight against a better Dillian White at the time. Went the distance with Joshua, so
Yeah.
it's a good test. Like, as I say, we'll do the own show of that, but I think it's a good stepping point for where he's now, and then maybe you'll look going on into the year. He'll maybe be out if he comes through Franklin. I don't know. He probably won't be out then till August, September.
Someone like a Hergovic would be good.
Hergovic should be a good fight, but you're probably looking two at the least, most 3 times he'll be out this year. But it's a good work in progress, and not yeah. I don't believe in the rushing of a fighter, especially like you say, he's a golden goose, like Ben Whittaker at Matchroom. They've invested heavily. They're not gonna put all that money into a fighter and then all of a sudden, bang, it's done early. Not done
Yeah.
early, but it's a hard process to get back.
I'll give you
But
another example. Adam Azim, with Boxer, a bit political with that one on whose channel he's fighting on, but similar sort of thing. Ben Whittaker, that's a great example. If you put him in with Beterbiev or Bivol right now, he probably gets beat, doesn't he? Certainly with Bivol. So what is the point? What's the point of sticking an L on his record at the moment?
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, even not sort of going off subject, but you say about Ben Whittaker, even Buatsi, probably like we'll see.
Yard?
Yeah, like you might see at the end of the year, but for now they're gonna like have the build-up fights and build to that, aren't they? I
Hard.
think it's all
Yeah.
about the process. When the amount of money's involved, lots of money's involved with these fighters. They're not gonna go and absolutely throw their golden goose in the deep end just yet before the
Yeah.
real big fights come.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting times for MOSES ITAUMA. We will bring him up again a little bit later on in this show. The 10th of January, we saw Agit Kabayel on his own coming stop. Damien Nyba. For me, it was a joke of a stoppage. It was never a stoppage. I thought the home crowd really influenced the referee's decision in that, stopping that fight. I mean, I was pissed off watching it that the fight ended because I thought Nyba actually started quite well.
Yeah.
What did you make of the performance of Kabayel and calling out USYK after?
I thought the performance was a bit laboured, but how many times do you see it where a fighter gets a homecoming fight, he's on the crest of a wave, and then they sort of give him, I know the guy was undefeated, but a bit of a gimme fight, and then they kind of come down to that level, and you don't look very good. I mean, the stoppage was probably going to come, wasn't it? He was picking him off a bit,
Probably, but
but yeah, I mean, if I was Usyk, I'd have been sat there in my slippers, drinking my hot chocolate, not worrying too much, to be honest. But I still think he deserves a shot. I'm sure we'll get onto the Wilder Usyk thing in a minute, but people like Wardley, Kabayel, they might have done it different ways, but they've both got to a ranking. Obviously, Fabio's picked up a belt by default. No fault of his own. It's what he's picked up. But yeah, I think that these guys are definitely the next in line. It's funny, really, because the whole landscape is changing, isn't it, of the heavyweights in the space of
Yep.
18 months? Because you had the Fury fights with Usyk, great fights. Obviously, Joshua's past his best, and those big nights are gone now. The stadium, certainly the big stadium fights, unless you get the big one. So yeah, and they're all growing old together, aren't they? So this next 18 months to 2 years is going to be fascinating.
Well, with Kabayel as well, I thought the style of Noiva was something completely different. He'd never
Yeah,
really been up against before. That long reach, that jab. It was a laboured performance. I wasn't impressed, but before that fight, I was thinking this one beats Usyk potentially.
really.
Not, I don't think. I think as regards current heavyweights go, I would say Kabayel is the one to me that's shown stylistically wise. He's the one that would beat Usyk, possibly. Well, the one who's got the most potential to beat Usyk. The last performance made me question it a little bit, and I did start thinking: is he as good as what I think and a lot of people think? Has he been flattered by beating a slow Makhmudov, an old aging Zhang? Has he been flattered by that? You know, these are the question marks we still don't know about Kabayel. But at one stage, like potentially, I did think, is this the one that beats Usyk? But
What do you say about Zhang? Because Zhang, we were in the same position 18 months ago, saying that he could be in line for a shot because he'd beaten Joe Joyce. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
a similar sort of thing, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. But Kabayel's the one that probably most intrigues me the most as regards fighting Usyk with his style. But I do think at times the way he fights, he could get picked off against Usyk because he does get caught quite clean at times.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
it's, you know what I mean, do you rate him that highly?
I think he's good. Yeah, I think he's good. I would definitely, if I put him in with Wardley, I'd make that maybe a 60-40 to Cavill. But just Usyk, like, if he, the only thing with Usyk is timing. If he carries on too long and he gets caught by someone who's a bit younger and fresher, it can happen. But while he's in his prime, I think the only person that would get close to him again is Tyson Fury, and he's been sat on his arse for over a year, hasn't he? So I still think Fury is the best one out there to even challenge Usyk, and I still don't think they could fight 10 times, and I think he'd lose a lot. But I do like Kabayel. I think he will pick up a version of it at some point when Usyk's done. As will a number of them. But yeah, I rate him. I'd put him top 5, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I definitely would. It was just the last performance where
No, I
it did
know.
make me question things a little bit. I mean, the homecoming, the crowd, that got that stoppage for him. You are right, it would have come.
Weren't
But
his fault either.
no, definitely not. But
Mm,
there was a few chinks in the armour for me where I thought,
yeah.
like
Mm,
Usyk, will he pick him off? Will he jab his head off? Because the way he gets tagged, he sort of like walks forward a bit too much sometimes, not a lot of movement. But
yeah.
when I've seen him before, stylistically, I thought, oh, he might have this to beat Usyk. But we'll see whether he even gets the shot anyway. But while we're on the subject of Usyk, it looked like he was going to be fighting Deontay Wilder. The strong rumours in San Francisco under a new promotion called IV Boxing. That was supposed to be
Lovely
July the
stuff.
11th, touted for, and it apparently it will break records. And it was going to be against, as I say, Deontay Wilder. It's now come out that Usyk's camp have said they're using his name for clout to basically promote this new promotion. I mean, I've seen mixed reactions as regards if this fight did happen, but let's say it did, and they do. I think they said that talks have happened, but nothing's been finalised. If this fight did happen, I think I can forgive Usyk for this one, just this one. What do you think, Rob?
I probably agree. It still annoys me, just because I just feel like there's fighters out there who deserve it more than Wilder. Like, I put a thing out the other day, and since in the last 5 years, Wilder's like lost 3 or 4 times. He beat Hellenius in a round, and he beat the fella he beat on that random stream the other year. Like, yeah, not for me. Not for me. I think Wilder's time's gone, and if he wanted a shot at the title, he should sort of earn his way back into it. Not because you're a name, but on the flip side, does Usyk deserve a name and a gimme. You know, plenty of champions have had one before, and it's not like he's had an easy run. He's pretty much fought in everyone's backyard. He's beat Joshua twice, Dubois twice,
That's what I was going to
Fury
say. Yeah,
twice. He's ran the gauntlet, hasn't he?
absolutely. I was going to bring that up straight away. When he's beat Fury twice, Dubois twice, Joshua twice, I will allow him a gimme fight.
All
But
the cruiserweights.
exactly, and when the thing is with Wilder, he also brings a casual audience. I've
Yeah,
had people say to me, "Oh, but what if Wilder lands with that big shot?" But them days, as you say, were like 4 or 5 years ago. Like
yeah.
I just don't see Wilder coming back and being able to do anything of touch Usyk. I just don't think he'll have the ability to land. I think Usyk will pick him off and dance round him. But
I
I
genuinely
will,
think Usyk could win a round without throwing a punch. I think he could win a round with his feet. Like, I genuinely mean that.
and as well, Wilder, his punch resistance looks shot, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Completely
yeah.
to pieces. But I will forgive Usyk for that fight if it does happen. But
Do you want to
still
hear
not.
something funny about that announcement?
Go on then.
So, I I got in through the podcast for a fight in San Francisco a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember. I went to watch Devin Haney
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there, and obviously went great experience. First time I'd had a big fight in generations. That was, good, what, 2 years ago now. I had an email about 2 weeks ago randomly from IVB. I'll show you later.
Lovely.
um, Saying there's a historic announcement coming up in San Francisco. I must have kept my email address or something from a mailing list. um, the mayor, Ed Pereira, is going to be there from IVB. The mayor of San Francisco is going to be there. I can't remember his name. It's like Leach or something like that. And they were inviting people to attend. I was like, well, I'm a bit far away. But it is a funny thing, right? So I didn't know what it was going to be. I just thought, IVB, who's that? Like, so I replied saying, no problem. But if you need me to like tweet anything about it, let me know. I just thought it was some small hall thing, right? Next thing I know, they're trying to break the world record with Usyk versus Wilder. I was like, yeah, they don't need me.
No way. I was just checking there as well. I said IV. It's IVB boxing promotion.
IVB, yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. No way.
yeah.
That's
Good luck to him. Good luck to him. I mean, they're obviously throwing a lot of money at it. Wanting to break the world record of about 140,000 is probably not going to happen unless they give away freebies. I just can't
that's
see
that's
it.
that's the plan. I believe a lot of free tickets to
Yeah.
be able to go, but let's see
Well,
what
that
happens.
plaza where they want to do it's beautiful. Like they've got almost like a big sort of town building, like a bit. It looks a bit like the White House, and in front of it is just a big open area with statues and stuff. And I think that's where they want to do it. But it's a lot of people in it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But I'm all like you say, good luck to them. I'm all for new promotions that are going to be better for the sport.
Yeah,
The more promotions that help the sport, the better. So
yeah.
let's see what actually happens to that. It'd be interesting to see. I'm more interested in see what happens with Usyk, with Wilder now. Fair play to him. Become
Mm,
world champion, had a decent career, but now's the time. I think, like he I'll say it is. I think he's washed, but
yeah.
I'm more, like I say, more interested to see what Usyk does when he comes back. But you mentioned Tyson Fury earlier. We've seen the announcements from him lately. He will be returning to the ring this year. Rumoured opponent is Arslanbek Makhmudov. I'm perfectly fine with this opponent by the time he comes back. It could be by the time he comes back 16, 17 months out the ring. As I said, Arslanbek Makhmudov is an opponent that is fine by me for the simple reason. I saw Alex, who you do the podcast with as well, saying about no, Fury should just walk back into a Fabio Wardley fight. I don't think he should just be able to walk back into contention like that. That is my belief. I would rather see him come back into a fight like that and build his way back up again. Do you think he should just walk back in?
I think it makes sense for him to do what's being rumored about Makhmudov. Yeah, but I understand where Alex is coming from. I probably would begrudge him a shot less than I would Wilder, because at the end of the day, Fury's gone back-to-back losses against one of the greatest of all time. So and he on with the performances. I'm no Fury fan, you know that, but the performances he put in against Usyk, he'd have beaten any other heavyweight in the world. And if he's still at that level, which is debatable, 16, 17 months out is a long time, especially at his age and, his size. So I'm fine with the opponent. I am. I'm just sick of the whole "I'm retired, no, I'm not." Like, I mean, I think it's nice to see that so many people have cottoned on to it's just bullshit now because, um,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, the 6 months between your fights isn't retirement; it's called a break. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? But yeah, I think. Do you think, bit off topic, but do you think people at Queensbury are a bit sick of him? Because, like, it must be annoying when he's announcing the retirements and then he's like, well, he's not going to, but we've got to prepare for him not coming back, and then he does. It must be a pain in the arse.
Well, did you see his brother where he said, "Oh, every time he's retired and come, like he has meant it, he just changes his mind, like, but he has definitely meant it." But
Yeah,
it does make you wonder whether it's all publicity stunts with
I
him.
know.
I'm not gonna say about the way he changed his mind. He's been, diagnosed bipolar and that, but there is sometimes a little bit in me where I do think, like, is he sort of like sitting there going, "What I'll do is I'll have this out and I'll announce my comeback." Then it just
Mm,
all seems very choreographed for me the way he
yeah.
does things.
But people see
Um,
right through it, don't they?
well, more and more people now, and as you say, there's more and more people saying I'm sick of him. I've had somebody message me today when I mentioned Tyson Fury. They went bore off because I sent
It
him
is
the
boring. It is
yeah,
boring.
I sent him the Instagram post that he done saying about this is going to be the best comeback ever and all this, and they just said bore off. But do you think
Any
potentially?
man from his mother. What apart from Usyk?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, do you think he potentially still can become world champion again?
Yes, yeah, I do. Again, that really depends on who he targets. I had this theory, right, that Queensbury were really pushing Dubois at the time. This theory came to shit, by the way, but that they were really going to push Dubois, and then as soon as he picked up the belt, they would throw him in with Fury, and then Fury would just take it off him. But obviously it never materialised that way. But I don't know. I just think if he went in with Wardley right now, you'd have to say he's big favourite to beat Wardley. Um, Usyk's obviously got the rest, hasn't he? So right now the odds are against him. But yeah, I would say he's got a much better chance of coming back and being world champion than someone like Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I'd agree, and I think it would be the WBO route where he would do against Fabio Wardley.
With
But
respect, by the way, because I really like Fabio, but I think that would
I
be the easier alternative, wouldn't it?
absolutely, he's done brilliant. Fabio Wardley, as say, our
Yeah,
WBO world champion,
yeah,
who we know will fight absolutely anybody. He
yeah.
he wants that Usyk fight as well. The front runner we're hearing from Fabio Wardley, the horse's mouth himself, is Derek Chisora. Um, this isn't a fight we want to see, is it?
No, no. How many times have we? I love Derek Chisora, but how many times have we been in a situation where he gets this fight and that fight? I mean, you can't fault it.
He's
And
a warrior, isn't he? Derek Chisora says it
yeah,
all. But I feel like he has sat out the ring for this long now, waiting for this big opportunity to come. And I'm thinking now, I reckon this could be in Frank Warren's plans. Like Wardley's saying himself, I am starting to think this is going to be the fight we see.
could Derek Chisora ping Fabio Wardley? You could,
Possibly,
you wouldn't bet against it, would you?
possibly the old Derek Chisora.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not quite.
I wouldn't put my last fiver on it, but I think he would get stuck in. I think he would get stuck in, but
But is it
yeah,
dangerous at this stage though for Derek?
for Derek, yeah, of course
I
it
mean,
is. Yeah,
he's a banger, any Wardley. Look what he's done to Joseph Parker, his
yeah,
chin's granite, and look what he done to him. So,
yeah.
is it dangerous of Frank Warren to
Mm.
even
But
put
to be
that
fair,
fight
Joseph
together?
Parker had been on that in the week, hadn't he?
Well, we're going to be hearing more about the true story of that apparently very soon.
Well, obviously, I was having a bit of a break from everything. I was in the airport. I was going to Krakow, and I don't know if it was you or Alex. Someone sent me the link saying Joseph Parker's tested positive for cocaine on fight week. I was like, I mean, what? I don't know, even know. I don't even think that's on the performance enhancing drug ban list, but like that has to be like I'm all for if you fail, ban them. Do you know what I mean? You know that, but like it doesn't feel right. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Was he on it
No,
during fight week? I don't know.
I think like he's not allowed to say at the minute for legal reasons. It will be interesting to see. Obviously, Spencer
Yeah,
Brown um, very much defends him, but yeah, it
weird.
shocked me as much as everybody else. But Joseph Parker, I do want to see him back in action. I mean, it was a great fight against Wardley,
Yeah,
but Wardley obviously got the job done. It was a terrific victory.
big
But
big win.
I want to see Wardley in against somebody better, in all honesty. Than I say that with all due respect, because he has been great for British boxing. There's no doubt about it. But it is a dangerous fight for me to allow Derek Chisora in with a monster punch. I mean, when they done Derek Chisora against Otto Wallin, I got it. Wallin's not a big banger. It suited Derek Chisora's style
Pulev
brilliantly.
as well. Yeah.
Exactly. They put him in with sort of like not the punches, and then you put him in with absolute knockout artist in Fabio Wardley. But do you see, say Wardley gets his Usyk shot, whether he wins fights or gets it next or whatever, it's looking highly unlikely, but say the end of the year, we see Usyk Wardley, do you see Wardley bringing anything different to the table to be able to beat Usyk?
Unfortunately not. No, unfortunately not. I think, I mean, Usyk, he's gone all the way through the cruiserweight division, all the way through the heavyweight division. He's fought pretty much every style. The only thing that Wardley does a bit different is he sits and waits a lot more. But Christ, I mean, the damage that Usyk could have done in a time that, Fabio's waiting for that one moment, a bit like the Hooney fight, Justice Hooney fight. As great as a moment that was, and he pulled it out of the fire. Imagine what Usyk would have done to him by 10, 11 rounds by then. I just don't see it. Does he deserve a shot? Absolutely.
Yeah, he does.
You beat Justice Hooney, you beat Joseph Parker. It doesn't matter if you're losing 11 out of 12 rounds and get two 12-round knockouts. Your ranking's still the same as winning first round, isn't it? So I think he deserves it, but no, I mean I go back to my point earlier. Really, I think that the one out there at the minute who would still trouble Usyk the most, I'm not saying he would ever beat him, is Fury for me. Washed or not washed, I still think just because of the size and how good he is with his feet. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, two very, very close fight. Well, the one was more close than the other, but
Yeah.
as I said earlier, Kabayel is the man I thought who would trouble Usyk the most. I feel like I've got to see another fight of Kabayel first before he fights Usyk to see what he does differently to what he showed us last time.
Think Kabayel beats Wardley?
Skill-wise, probably yes. I really, really respect Fabio Wardley for what he's done.
Yeah, me too.
World champion, been brilliant, come from white collar, amazing story. I just think skills pay the bills. I think Usyk beats Wardley. Too much skill. And I think Kabayel has got a little bit too much skill for Fabio Wardley. And I think he brings something different to what Wardley's been against. I mean, I thought the fight with Wardley Parker, the way Parker sometimes waits, I think suited Fabio Wardley. And he's at times lacked the killer instinct, Joseph Parker. And I think at times in that fight, he showed it a little bit again.
Yeah.
But Fabio Wardley does deserve his shot against Usyk, but I can only see it going one way. But really, really interesting times in the heavyweight division. There's lots of fights to be made this year.
Do you think there's going to be a lull in the heavyweights? So before
I think we need to see the fights that everyone's asking to see. I think we suffer a lot, particularly in this country, where everyone's asking for these fights. Let's see Dubois versus Kabayel, and we end up seeing Dubois versus someone that's ranked 40 in the world. That's what happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they're talking about Dubois and Zhang, aren't they? I think that's a good comeback fight for Dubois. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like we're still sort of sat in the same territory that we were in 2017 to an extent. What's that? 9 years ago now. I think 9 years in a few months it'll be since Joshua beat Klitschko at Wembley, and I vividly remember I was at the fight, but like when I come back, I watched it back, and Wilder was on commentary that night, and at that time, I'm sure he was the WBC champ. Yeah, and at that point, he was saying, "This is amazing, Wembley. Oh my God, Anthony Joshua, blah blah blah. I love that fight." And here we are, pushing a decade later, and it hasn't happened. And neither has Tyson Fury and Joshua. And I mean, we'll get onto the list of fights that we want to see. But like, I feel like I'm in a time warp at the minute where I'm still asking for the same fights I was 9 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. I can see your point with that. I mean, you mentioned Anthony Joshua there. Respectfully, we've decided not to speak about him on this show tonight. Why he sort of like decides his next steps in boxing. Yeah. Like, we we can all speculate what's going to happen and that, but why he decides, let's give him his time to see what he wants to do.
Glad he's okay.
Absolutely, yep. So glad he's okay. Another obviously heavyweight who's been brilliant for British boxing as well. So I did say to you as well, Rob, before we come on about, I'll be asking you your 5 ideal heavyweight fights. I'll narrow it down to 3, and I'll let you go first. What would be, if you could pick your first heavyweight fight this year, you'd like to see, what would it be?
I bet you can guess.
Not
you can guess.
Not Fury Usyk 3.
Nah, Fury Chisora 4. Nah, obviously Joshua and Fury. It's just an itch we've got to scratch, isn't it? A bit like Brook and Khan. Yes, we know it's past its sell by now. Of course it is, but they're both vulnerable now. They've both come off losses. Both had a bit of time out. They both earned their money as well, and I would 100% still go and watch it. I don't. I'd probably go and watch it in 10 years if they announced it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has to be. I mean, that's probably one of my top 3 in the whole world boxing, let alone heavyweights right now. I presume that would be maybe your number 1 or right up there.
Oh, it's absolutely a fight I definitely want to see. But I just feel like at the moment, I don't think we can. I don't think any of us fans can even think of it with the way.
No, of course.
With the way, like, obviously things are. But 100% agree. I think it does great numbers, and I think it would sell out Wembley.
Do you think they'd do it at Wembley?
I'd like to think so. Absolutely, I'd like to think so. But when there's Saudi money involved, who the hell knows? That's the problem.
I saw I shared it the other day after Dalton Smith. Like, by the way, what a win that was. Eddie Hearn in Times Square, and I've cropped it ready for when I need it, because he he said money's great and money will come and go, something like that. But legacy, you can't buy that. And I thought, I'm gonna fucking use that when they announce Fury Joshua in Saudi, because it's true. Like, what is the point of taking that fight to the middle of a desert where no one can watch it? People come and go like a leisure centre, and it has to be at Wembley. Look, it has to be at Wembley.
Absolutely, totally agree. I don't think it could be anywhere else. Totally agree with you on that. But as I say, when there's Saudi money involved, anything, absolutely anything is possible. My one fight I would like to see, but I'd like it towards the end of this year. I've already mentioned I'd like to see him have one more fight. I would like to see Usyk versus Kabayel. I really, really would like to see that fight. I just think he brings a little bit something different to fight Usyk. But it's just that last, I keep mentioning, it's just that last performance where I have my doubts with it. But I just think, yeah, it's definitely a fight I would like to see. And I think they could even do that. They mentioned it as the call out before for Kabayel. They could even do that in Germany. I mean, look at the atmosphere of that fight, that Kabayel against Noiba. Jesus Christ, imagine it against Usyk.
Yeah.
Be unbelievable.
Yeah, I had that fight second. But I did have Usyk versus Kabayel / Wardley. Not in some sort of triple threat, like one or the other. But I just think they both deserve it. I think they're both in line, and for different reasons, really. Obviously, you mentioned the Kabayel one there, same reason. But I just feel like, what a story for Usyk, his background, going through the Olympics, undisputed at 2 weights against a former white collar boxer. Big punt, like, I just think the story is amazing. So yeah, that would be right up there as well for me. One of them that I did think of, and it was a bit of a fantasy fight, really British, would be towards the back end of this year, would be Itauma versus Dubois.
I thought of that one as well.
Yeah, because I just think Dubois coming off the back of a tough time, not just what happened that night, but like all the shit that come out after it. I think if he can get a run out or 2, and then back end of the year, imagine that for like a number 1 contendership in versus Itauma at the O2, or probably not a stadium, but like the O2 or something like that, or on a on some sort of Saudi show.
It ain't going the distance either, is it, that one?
Oh no, who would you even fancy in that right now? Like, that's a tough one to call. It Itauma, I rate him higher than most.
Well, okay, look, forget about the fights as what we're saying about the ideal fights. Do you think Itauma right now would trouble Usyk? We don't know enough, do we?
I'm gonna say no, because if it goes late, I just think that Usyk, you know what Usyk's like in the championship rounds. I mean, I just think Itauma would be knackered. Like dealing with Usyk for that psychologically, for that and mentally for that long, I would say no right now. And but if that call comes and the mandatory's called, he's pretty much got no choice, has he?
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think like now, as we said before, the building process needs to be done properly. And I have people saying to me, "Oh, let's get the best fights done. Usyk versus Ataman needs to happen next." I'm going to get criticised for this. I know
Oh
someone
no, I
who's
get it. I
watching
get
this
it.
who'll say to me, "No, no, we need to see the best fight the best." But no, like I don't think that should be any time soon. And why we was talking about ideal heavyweight fights, I'll name my last one. I want to see Jai Apataya step up to heavyweight, and I would love to stylistically, I'd love to see him fight Usyk, but I think it would be a good test for him to fight someone like a Daniel Dubois as well, as he
But
steps up to it.
I think Opetaya's dropped a bollock. I do this week signing with Zuffa.
Zuffa.
Like what the hell's I messaged Alex. I said, "What is Opetaya playing at?" Like I get it, the money's going to be there, and he's going to be their poster boy for this new. But at his stage of his career, where he's absolutely flying and going into the heavyweight division,
Is
you
he
need
definitely
him to
going
be.
into the heavyweight division?
I
Is
think
that
within
what the?
12 months. 12 months, yeah, surely.
Yeah, I think
Because
they
he's about
said
to
that
clean
that's
up,
the
isn't he?
plan, but I don't know whether
Yeah.
anything's official about that.
Yeah, I just think he's dropped an absolute clanger there. I feel like because if he's as restricted to Zuffer as probably not as restricted as UFC fighters are with Dana White, but he's gonna struggle to get a fight unless it's on their broadcaster and they pay a lot of money to bring in someone like Usyk because obviously he's just signed with this IVB. Suddenly that fight looks contractually difficult to make, doesn't it?
I'll tell you what though, what a statement signing from Dana White and Zuffa Boxing.
Do you know,
Because
I don't like their graphics. It looks like UFC, doesn't it? They haven't changed the style at all. It looks with all the faces and stuff. But
yeah,
I'm all for it. Fighters getting opportunities, but it's going to be a slow burn that one, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, I've already said the jury's out. We'll sort of see what happens. I'm all for giving promotions and people a chance. If it's
Mm.
better for boxing, people have their opinions straight away. Oh, it's not going to do this. It's not going to do that. Dana
Yeah,
White's bad for boxing. I just with that one, I'll just sit on the fence and say, let's see. People have said, oh, he's going to change. He's going to change the ring to a circle. It's going to be a circle. It's going to be this. It's not going to be. Let's wait and see. I don't think he's going
yeah.
to. I don't think he's going to
No,
go that extreme.
no.
So let's wait and see and give Dana White and Zuffa Boxing a chance. But I think it's a great signing up at Oya, and I can't wait to see him step up to the heavyweight division.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think he'll be stepping up at right time as well because even if he misses Usyk because Usyk goes, but imagine Opetaya and Wardley and
That's what I'm saying.
Atama
Dubois
and
and all them, like, yeah, I think there's real great fights
Mhm.
to be made. But
Mhm. You got Jared Anderson as well. Jared Anderson. He's probably the next hope of America, isn't he?
he ain't got it for me.
Nah,
What?
nah, not me.
And you got Richard Torres as well. Oh, he looks
Yeah,
decent though. He does look
yeah.
decent.
And what do you think of Terramona? Obviously, he looks heavy-handed, but how many times have we seen that come out of that area of the world?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think. Well, it's too early to see, isn't it? Like not really had that ultimate
Mm,
test, has he?
no.
So but there's a lot of obviously age in heavyweights as well, like your Zangs and stuff that will be going out the game within the next 12 months, I would say. And then there'll be new ones making their way through.
I thought
So
Jalilov would have a good crack at it as well. The Uzbeki guy from the
yeah, you
Olympics.
just
I thought he was going to be a killer. I did.
don't make waves, does he? Not with the right
No,
promotion to be
nothing.
making the waves, does he?
Absolutely nothing. And you got, fighters like Gassiev who were coming back through. Great cruiserweight, not really done it at heavyweight. Maybe he's just there's some fighters out there who it's kind of like, why would I risk it? And a bit like a timer actually. Why would Usyk even roll that dice at this stage with someone
Wouldn't.
like a timer?
Yeah, he would. I mean, I think he's even said that as well. But could
Yeah.
be something down the line. It'd be interesting to see how long Usyk does have left as well. He seems to
Mm,
be fully focused that he's got enough time left as well. So really interesting times for the heavyweight
yeah.
division. This has been great talking to you, Rob. The heavyweight debate, really interesting of opinions as well on who we think can threaten Usyk the most and that. 2026, a fresh year. Let's hope it's a great year, not just for the heavyweight division, for boxing. Rob, thanks for your time. It's great to get you back on again. We'll be doing loads more shows with you this year if you're willing to come back on. Of course, that
Of course,
is.
mate. Yeah, give me a couple of days' notice to check my facts.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Um,
Appreciate you having me.
No problem. Great to get you back on again. Thanks for your time. If everyone can give this channel a like, a subscribe, all comments are much appreciated. Whether you agree with us, whether you don't agree with us, I'm open to all opinions. That's what we're all about on this channel.
He just won't reply to the negative ones.
I will. I certainly will. Yeah. This has been Sir Chat A Lot of Boxing. Thanks for watching. Cheers.